Marty, let's take a look. So another Ben Keo game, right? The Ben Keo League.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And does he review these games too for you? Do you get like a double
Um,
review?
uh, so he usually goes over very quickly for both people the league games, but sometimes he doesn't have time.
Okay.
So he certainly hasn't done it. He does it at the end of the month.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's good you do the reviews with me then, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, mine's more thorough than from what it sounds like.
Right. You have it from my point of view.
Yes. Yes.
And I
Yes.
think and I think that Ragnar is like really a 3Q. So this was a miracle. Okay.
Ah, no miracles, Marty. You beat me with 7 stones, and I'm a 1Q. So,
That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay.
all right, let's do it. So first of all, you have two options for direction. I think this was a good direction, right? Because you have a stone here, and so you have lots of potential here. So I think this was good direction. It's also splitting your opponent apart, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
you're following my handicap principles, which is keep your opponent separated and small. That's the key to the handicap games, in my opinion. So very good. Once again, I think you just picked a good direction, right? Because this is starting to become extremely huge. Reminds me very similar to the Sanrensei, but with a lot of extra help. This was fine. It was good. Yep, cross cut. You helped the weaker stone, so you did a great job here. This once again, you're corralling your opponent like around, making it weak while you build points. Excellent, very very excellent. But here was the first misfire. I think one, you have a weakness here.
Yep.
Two, this is where you're making your points. So
Yes.
this is
Yes.
where you needed to corral him further. And when he plays this, now you can come out. Right now you can worry about
Okay.
the safety of these. But just getting
Okay.
that one extra stone makes the saves your
Yeah.
all your
Yep.
weakness and then does
Yep.
really well here. So
Yeah.
by escaping the running battle, right? Something that
Yeah.
I think Q's
Yeah.
watching in our first reviews ever with Q. He would always leave the running battles like this, and then he would get
Yeah.
punished for it, right? And so this is what happens. You left the running battle, and then you got punished for it.
Yeah.
Uh, or at least you should have. I think you did, because he gets out, right? Yeah, so he's just out, right? And now
Yeah.
you have a lot of trouble.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah, he harped on the weakness, right? This is the infamous shape of having
Yep.
2 stones versus a Hane, right? Here's
Yeah.
the shape we see all the time.
Yes.
Um, he got out, so now he's in really good situation for these white stone. Well, not the best situation. White's still not alive, but White got out, and that's the point.
Yes.
Um, this was some nice high level trickery, I think, on his part. Because right now, you look at this and you're all like, how is White going to get anything good here, right?
Right.
Um, but once you played this move, that's when he was allowed to get something good. This is the infamous shape again, right? The same one we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one
I
that,
see. I should have cut him.
yeah, you should have cut him. Because now he has lots of weaknesses, right? So what can he even do, right? If he helps the weakest stone, you help your weakest stone, and these are in trouble, right? So if
Aren't I in trouble?
if he protects here, then you're safe, right? You can fully connect to your stones.
Okay. Okay. I see.
And if he protects this weakest stone, well, now you can kill this easily. So
Yes.
you have no
Yeah.
trouble, and he has all the issues, right? Because he can't even
Oh.
make eyes in here.
Oh.
So this is, once again, that's why I call it the infamous shape, right? Because it's
Yeah.
infamous. It's always missed, or it's always
Yeah.
on the escape of double-digit Q players, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, and this is a very important shape here. Um, so playing this would have saved you a lot, but playing this was I don't want to say cowardly, but it was it was bad, right? It's just not good.
Yep. Yep.
Same with this. I was very shocked you didn't separate him.
Oh,
Because once you play here, he's just alive, right?
yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, do you remember why you picked this one instead of like this?
Probably stupidity. I yeah, because people always say, "Oh, get on top of them." I mean, but I realize, of course, I mean, it really was not. It's not good. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. I thought maybe you were afraid that these stones might be getting surrounded or killed, so you played this way. Um, but yeah, right now, I mean, obviously you're very strong, right?
Right. Right.
And so
Right.
keeping these two separate makes white
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know what white would do, per se, but if I was white, I would be like sweating, right? I'd be like worried.
Right. Right.
I'd have to sacrifice this and maybe play something like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks difficult for white in my opinion. But
Yeah.
once you played here, he just
Yeah.
solved all his problems,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we don't
Yeah.
want white to solve their problems, right?
Yes. Yes.
So this was a strange decision to me. I think maybe your eye is on like shape points now. And shape points are good places to start, but you have to fully read the aftermath.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So all these exchanges were fine. This was fine. I was wondering if you should block this way, but this kind of allows white a lot very easily. So I was very fine with you separating these stones. So I think it's fine. And you did excellent protecting your cutting points. White has all the problems here, and black's in the best shape. This was the problem, though, and this is once again some really high level trickery on White's part. Because you left this weakness here, now
Yeah.
he plays this throw in,
Yes.
and then Atari's,
Yes.
and then gets a pretty decent result here at least, because now he gets to do this double Atari after. So White ended up playing some really nice tricky moves, high level Tetsuji stuff. So instead, to make things easier, I think if you just played here, White's still gonna have an issue here, right? Like, what's White gonna do? Whatever he does,
Right.
you can continuously separate him, and all your weaknesses are fixed here. So, but that was just a once in a lifetime thing. Well, not once in a lifetime, but it's very tricky situation.
Yeah.
But this looked very easy to find, right?
Totally.
If White plays here, then it's double Atari,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
which is just bad for
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
for Black needs to come back, and it does feel a little slow. It does feel a little slow, but you need to protect yourself against these type of situations, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right. So yeah, now you lost this, so this became a disaster.
Yeah. Totally.
So when we look at the board as a whole, after all this stuff, you have a lull, right? You have that point where there's no pressure.
Yes.
There's nothing, that you have to worry about, and so now we look for the biggest moves. That's what you essentially tried doing, right? You looked for a big move, which is to make a lot of points in the corner. But when I look at this weak white group, it looks weak to me. Does it look weak to you?
Yeah, I mean, it still could run out, I guess. So if I cap it, I guess it'd be in trouble.
Exactly. So if you stopped it from running out, then you wouldn't have any problems. I mean, white would have all the problems, right?
Right. Right.
And so this group is very weak. It doesn't have two eyes, and it's fully surrounded by black. Fully surrounded. So all it needs is like one more move to make sure it doesn't get out. and
Yeah.
you're fine, right? You're fine. You can just capture them. Although
Yeah.
this would be a nice move for him to make an eye, but even then, you can do a bunch of moves to try and prevent that second eye. But anyway,
Huh.
so
I see. I do see. I mean, I didn't see it at the time clearly.
yeah, so when we're in these lulls, remember kind of like the orders of operations, right? The first thing we should look at, in my opinion, is usually is there any weak or strong groups, right?
Yes.
Do you have any
Yes.
weak
Yes.
groups? Which in this
Yeah.
case, I don't think you have any weak groups, right? And then you look for your opponent's weak groups, which we can find this one. And so the
Right.
urgent moves usually are to attack the weak groups first. If there are no weak groups, then we look for big moves, which is
Yeah.
like this, right?
Hmm.
So that's why this was a very important turning point in the mid game. White immediately knew he
Right.
was
He
in
knew. He
trouble.
knew. Yeah. Yeah.
So he was like, "Let me get out of here."
Yeah.
And so yeah. So, so this move looked unnecessary to me. With these stones are already kind of dying. You always have this protection here, right? You're always going to be safe. So
Right.
instead, I think playing this move would have been good because it hurts these two stones significantly, and you can see
Yeah.
now you're starting to build a big, bread basket here, right?
Yeah.
So this move looked more. This move didn't look necessary, and this looked pretty nice.
Yeah.
This was an excellent find. Like, I'm just impressed. Like this was a really good move, and like kind of shameful for Ragnar, right? He should have seen that this was in trouble. Because
Yeah.
now, if he was to play like here, then you'd be able to kill these stones, right? Which
Right.
would have
Right.
been
Right.
amazing. So even though it just looks like a simple Atari, like it's an excellent move that you punished, and then for Ragnar, like shamefully missed. So this was great for you. And this is the last kind of thing that I wrote here, which was, black should just play something like this. Because what can white do? Maybe this is the best white can do, but even now, I think you're okay. You just play something like this. Because when you play what you did in the game, right, which looks weird to me because
Hmm.
it's an empty triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But when you play what you did in the game, it just allows white to take more endgame from you, right?
Right.
Like this should feel bad, right? You lost maybe like 8 points or something.
Yeah.
So instead, if you just played here, yeah, it's fine, right? It's fine. Maybe
So I think I was worried about the five, vertical stones.
I think you could even kill this. I think you have enough liberties and strength to kill this if you played here, but you were
Yeah.
worried about these, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's understandable. Well, that's why I put B here too. So, if you were more concerned about safety and more concerned about making a big amount of points here, you could play this
Yeah.
move here.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been better.
Yeah, I like this and I like this. Both of them I like.
Yeah.
But this one I don't like.
Yeah.
Right? It just looks a little very strange to me.
Yes.
All right, Mari, we actually did it. 3 reviews in 1 hour.
Awesome.